back, brothers and sisters of Christ. My name is Brianna and I'm back with another video. And for today's video is you're not missing out on nothing in the world. Okay? Oftentimes, as Christians, we feel like we're missing out on something in the world because we follow Christ. You know, we see people living these lifestyles, you know, they're living the fast life, they're partying, they got money, they got all the friends, the followers, the cars, the houses, and we think like, oh, they're living their best life. They're living the life. And, you know, we feel like we're missing out on something, on some type of fun. But what I notice is that those people's souls are crying a lot. You know, a lot of those people are lost. A lot of those people are confused, depressed. They're suicidal and they're having anxiety and they're using those things as cover-ups. But on the outside looking in, we think that they're living the life. And, you know, we think that we're missing out on something. But, baby, let me tell you, you ain't missing out on nothing in the world. Especially if you already been there and done that. See, that was something that I always had to tell myself at the beginning of my journey when I felt tempted. And when I felt like I was missing out, I would always say to myself, what am I missing out on that I've never done before? I'm not missing out on nothing that I have not done. I done partied. I done drank. I done smoked. I done did that. So when I see other people doing it now, I'm looking like, good luck. Well, bless you. Not even luck no more. But I'm just looking like, you know, because I've been there, I've done that. And I know what it brings upon my life. You know what I'm saying? You already know what that life is like. You know, you already knows what it brings. You know what it causes and how it made you feel. And that's something I always had to remind myself. You know, that's why we ran to God in the first place. Because you couldn't find peace and happiness in that very lifestyle. So how could you be missing out on something that you ran away from to find the Lord? What you missing out on? Misery? You know, the reality is that the world is missing out on knowing Jesus. The world is missing out on knowing Christ and living for him. The world is missing out on peace. The world is missing out on happiness. But society and the enemy have Christians thinking that they're the ones missing out on something. And some people fold under pressure. The Christians fold under pressure for this very reason. Because they feel like they're missing out on something, baby. And they go back to the world. But see, that's the enemy. In society, have Christians think that they're missing out on something, baby. All things that glitter is not gold, baby. And that's why I love about the Lord is how he looks at what's on the inside. Because let me tell you, if you was to see what's on the inside of them people, you will understand that you ain't missing out on nothing. They the ones missing out. I'm not saying all these people. Yeah, if you don't know Christ, you missing out anyway. Let's get that straight. But you know what I'm saying? If you could see the inside of these people and the hurt and the pain that they're experiencing, although on the outside they look like they haven't, you would be like, I'm not missing out on nothing. I've heard this story time after time. I'm like testimony after testimony. Oh, I had all this stuff, but I still wasn't happy. I was searching for something inside. I still wasn't happy and inside. I was suicidal. I was depressed. You know what I'm saying? You're not missing out on nothing. And those of you that's been saved young and, you know, or saved all of your life and you see people doing all this worldly stuff and they make it look fun. I'm going to tell you, it's not as fun as it looks. And you probably feel like you want to experience some of these things. Like you want to experience how it feels to be drunk, how it feels to be party, and how it feels to get high and fornicate and all this stuff. But let me tell you, there's nothing to experience but pain, trouble, and heartache, baby. Take it from somebody who done the worldly stuff. And I don't miss it at all. Literally. Like, I don't ever want to go back to that lifestyle. You cannot pay me enough to go back to that lifestyle after knowing Jesus Christ, baby. I would be a fool. You know, and if I could have did it Christ's way the first time, I would have. But actually, at the same time, I wouldn't, because this is my story. This is my testimony. And this is what made me who I am today. And it's personal. It's near and dear to my heart. So I wouldn't change it. But to live for Christ all your days is a beautiful thing. Like, I see so many people that have, like, young people that's been living for Christ and giving their life to Christ. And I think it's amazing. Or people that's, like, always been living for Christ. Like, I think that is an amazing thing. You know what I'm saying? You're literally avoiding all, like, I ain't gonna say all, because we still go through things even when you live for Christ, but there's a lot of stuff that you avoided by not indulging into the things that the world is indulging in. Because as I always say, sin causes self-affliction. So a lot of the sins that people are partaking in, we're putting extra things and drama and trouble and pain and heartache into our lives that we didn't have to experience. So those who started living for Christ at a young age, first of all, you're doing it the right way. And the Lord walks with you. And let me tell you, you're ducking and dodging a lot of nonsense that you don't even have to deal with. People may call you boring. They may call you lame for standing on the business, which is God's word. But so be it. Let people say what they're going to say, but they don't know how the Lord, how pleased the Lord is with you. And it be those same people calling you boring and lame, and they sitting up there miserable. They soul crying out for help. You know what I'm saying? But because the thing about it is, anything that you do for the Lord is worth doing. There's nothing that you can miss out on when you're in the presence of the Lord. There's no better feeling than being at the feet of the Lord. He's your protector. He's your provider. He's your comforter. He's literally your everything. Like, without him, what do you have? So remember, you're not missing out on the world, baby, but they're missing out on you. They're missing out on God. They're missing out on the experience. They're going to be missing out on eternal life with the Lord. They're missing out on the kingdom. They're missing out on righteousness. They're missing out on happiness. They're missing out on peace, baby. And we can go on and on and on about the things that the world is missing out on, baby. But they going to try to convince you that you missing out. But that ain't nothing but a lie from the devil in the pits of hell, baby. That ain't nothing but a lie from the devil to get you back into the world and let you go back into the world, and you're going to be just as broken and miserable as the people that's living in it that told you that you was missing out. Now y'all both trying to find y'all way to the Lord. Them same people that was trying to tell you you missing out on something. They fighting for their lives, and now you finna be fighting for your life with them because you done turned your back on the Lord. You go back into the world thinking you missing out on something, and you going to lose yourself. You going to lose your soul. It ain't nothing in the world that you can miss out on when you with the Lord. Oh my goodness. Nothing. Nothing. When I think about the goodness of God, everything he's done for me, his word, just him alone, man. Like, the world ain't got nothing on the Lord. Nothing on the Lord, baby. I can't even believe that people think that they're missing out on. I mean, I get it. I get it. I get why people think that. But once you experience the Lord in ways that's just so deep and intimate, none of that stuff in the world is going to matter. You keep your eyes on the Lord. Keep building your relationship deeper and stronger with the Lord. And fight through that. Because you'll get over it. Because I did feel like that in the beginning of my journey. And I quickly got over that the deeper I got into relationship with the Lord. Because the deeper you get, the better it gets. And the better it gets, the more you looking like, I will never go back to the world. I'm not missing out on nothing. I look at the world crazy like y'all is missing out. And that's why you see Christians preaching the gospel and spreading the gospel, because we know that the world is missing out. And we want everybody to know and hear about the goodness of God. And we want them to experience it as well. We've been in the world, we done that. And we looking like it ain't nothing to it. Everything you need is within the Lord. So you come to a place, most Christians come to a place, and, that's an early stage of your journey. And you'll come to a place, you'll get over that hump, and you understand that you're not missing out on nothing. And you understand that it's the world that's missing out on Jesus, and they need Jesus. You don't need the world, baby. The world can't do nothing for you, but Jesus can do everything for you. Oh my goodness. Don't even get me started, because I'm ready to go into a whole another. I just love him so bad, just thinking about where he took me from. Like, I just could not go back to that. I just could not even think to myself that I'm missing out on something being in the presence of the Lord. So you in order to fight that thought off, like I said, just keep building your relationship stronger and deeper with the Lord, and those thoughts will go away, and those feelings will go away, and you just can't give up. You can't give up. You can't let the world move you and what they're doing and what they're saying and how they're living move you. You have to be strong, and you have to wait upon the Lord. You have to wait on the Lord, and you have to understand that our path is different from the world. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people have a hard time understanding, that our path is not the same as the world. Our path will not look like the world's path. So we see the world and we thinking we're missing out on something, but you got to understand that that's not what our journey is going to look like when you follow Christ. Your journey is going to be righteous. Your journey is going to be fruitful, sinless. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about the things that they've done to even get what they got and all this. Come on, man. Like, it's just, no. I'm going to choose the Lord any day over the world, baby. The world ain't never did nothing for me. The world ain't do nothing but break me. Why would I go back? Why do I feel like I'm missing out? You ain't experienced that, and you ain't get nothing out of it. And that's why you came running to the Lord. So, if this word's not for you, it's for somebody else. Remember, I'm telling y'all this because I love y'all. God bless.